Naomi was just basically bawling her eyes out. She was a little over the top too, in my opinion. The whole thing to me is just a little over the top, but um, she goes on to say how she did it, and she wished she would have did it sooner. She wished she would have pushed her harder. Um, whatever. Basically, turning heel. You know, saying that everyone turned their back on her as soon as she starts doing. Okay. And then Bianca basically starts leaving, and she called her ungrateful bitch, I believe, and said that she was turning her back on her also. And she said, and then Jade shows up. And you see it on the Titan. She comes out the car, walks through, comes out, basically just beats her down real quick, and leaves it at that. And Jade stands tall. I don't want to say I don't like it, because it's not that I don't like it, but it's all just a little over the top for me. They're trying too hard or something. I don't know. But I do like where it's going, and I'm hoping that this is just a bump in the road before we get Bianca and Jade. So I'm all right with everything. I'll go B-.
Yeah, I definitely agree with DJ on certain points. I mean, it was, the crying, and, I was watching the thing on YouTube where one of the creators was saying, wow, this is really great acting. And, you could tell, I mean, to me, it sounded like there was some passion in what they were saying, but not a lot of it. Bianca, they're trying to talk over each other, and that I didn't like that part. And then, when Bianca turns around and leaves and walks back to the dressing room, walks back towards the dressing room down the ramp, um, like DJ said, Naomi called her an ungrateful bitch, and she stopped. And then here comes Jade Cargill, with the long white hair and the outfit and everything, and she just gave a little quick glance over to Bianca and looked like Bianca just went, "Well, go ahead." And she went in and took care of Naomi, and this is probably going to be another match coming up soon between those two. I don't think we'll see anything between Bianca and Jade unless Bianca wins the title. And then we'll probably see something then. But yeah, I thought it was okay. Could have been better. I gave it a B.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm with DJ. I understand that they're trying to put emotion into the segment. Bianca being torn between two best friends, trying to get the answers why. Naomi getting emotional. Oh, I did it all for you. I did it all for you. It was. I think where it really, really lost me was when the tears started coming down.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit too much. It had that, you order your drink or whatever, and you say you want 3 shots of sweetener in it, and they give you 8. It just, the extra 3 squeezes of lemon in the lemonade, it just was too much. Jade once again pulling in, and she drove in and got out of the car. I mean, did she have YouTube TV or some app in that SUV that she knew Bianca and Naomi were in the ring? It just, but Bianca walking away from Naomi. One thing that I will say I'm now hoping is that, because Naomi was like, I've always done this, I've done this new, and it's always keep me down. So maybe now we'll stop seeing her wear those, dead Muppet boots and have all the nice color, and we get rid of that whole glow thing. And I'll go B-. points on this one as well.
Okay. Wayne Hayes, thank you for liking the live, guys. We're up to 3,000 likes already. Thank you.
So one quick thing about that, I forgot to mention. Bianca called her Trinity during it.
Yeah.
Like Trinity, stop. So it was. I did like that part. At least she kind of calling her by her real name, I guess, brought out some more emotion. I guess I was okay with that. It was just like we said. It was just too much. But
excuse me.
Bless
All
you.
right. Sorry about that.
Bless
That
you.
was a cough.
Oh,
It was a cough, but thank you. After that, we then went to the third match of the evening, an hour and 22 minutes into the show. And it was a singles matchup between Braun Strowman and Solo Sikoa. Trivia, you lead us off.
okay. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, this match really, I don't know. It didn't do much for me. I really wasn't too excited about it. For some strange reason, Braun Strowman just doesn't seem himself. Greg had pointed it out. I'll let him mention it and everything, but he just doesn't seem himself. You know, he's billed as the monster among monsters. And I mean, yeah, Solo Sikoa is a tough SOB. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you have to pack a lunch all day long just to face him. And then, you know, Tama Tonga came out and caused a disqualification. And then Jacob Fatu came out. I mean, what Braun Strowman does to Jacob Fatu, and then he gets up and just brushes it off like it's nothing. I mean, is Jacob Fatu really that tough of a guy, or he just doesn't know how to sell some things? Because when he dropped him on that table, it seemed like it didn't even phase him. So maybe it's just me. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like, you know, the average guy, which Jacob Fatu isn't. He's not an average guy. I mean, would have been carried away in a box or something. But yeah, there's just something wrong about Braun Strowman. I don't know. I gave the match a C+.
Okay.
Beatrix, thank you.
Yeah, I'm up next. Yeah, and I forgot to mention the last match, but this match went to a commercial break less than 1 minute after it started. So once again, this match was 7 minutes flat. And yeah, there was a few minutes afterwards, so I guess you said the whole thing is probably 10, 11 minutes. But this really had nothing to do with Braun Strowman taking out Solo Sikoa. It was Braun Strowman being in the ring so that he can have a confrontation with Jacob Fatu. If you wanted to do that, then just give me Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Make it a last man, maybe not last man standing, but falls count anywhere or something. And I'll agree. Jacob is a beast. And it's not that he doesn't no sell. It's just his character is supposed to be, you know, that type of person where it takes, you know, everything to keep him down. And like I was talking with Trip about Braun Strowman, he's big, he's strong. He can pick up a man and throw him like I could pick up a Nerf football. But when he's moving and he's running around, it just looks to me like he when he does that little thing, when he whips his hand around and comes around the ring, it's like he's moving in slow motion. He used to come flying around, hit somebody, and they would fly over the announcer's table. Now they don't do that anymore because he can't get enough speed to do it, so he just runs and knocks him down. It just looks like he's running kind of peg leg, stiff leg, and he just doesn't have. I mean, he's a big man. He's what, 385 pounds? I think they said. he's 41 years old. So, yeah, it happens. You get. But this was, once again, more about the physical altercation with Jacob Batu afterwards. I give the whole thing just straight up shake.
Alrighty. Wayne Hayes, Tama Tongan used to go, thank you for liking the lives of Wayne. Hey, Jenny Grace, thank you.
All right. I got to agree with you, and it sucks because I really like Braun. But like I'm almost thinking they need to take the whole loop-de-loop thing he does out of his moveset because it's just not the same as it was. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of knocks the match down a little for me when he does it. But him and Solo, I mean, they had a few minutes in the beginning when it first started. Braun kind of jumped on him and, had the upper hand for a while, and Solo was able to fight back. And so there was a little bit of wrestling in it, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. But, right, this was really just for Jacob. Because I think Braun ended up hitting his finish there, his big slam. He went for the cover. Tama Tonga comes in and breaks it up, and we get a DQ. So I hate that. I'll always hate a DQ, but whatever. You want to keep them both strong? I don't know. To me, it was weird, but then we get Jacob, and they fight, and I think if it's going to work for anyone, I guess Jacob would be the one. I don't know. It's weird because I'm kind of into Jacob and Braun Strowman, but I don't know. After Friday night, I was kind of like put me down a little bit. I don't know. I think if they add a stipulation, like you said,
Excuse me,
book their whatever match whenever they have it. If they do, book it right. Give us some good action. It could turn out good, but at this moment, I'm just. And it sucks because I'm really into Jacob too. I hope they do a lot with him, but for here, I think I'll go C+.
Okay.
After that, we then went to a WWE Women's United States title match. It was a street fight between the champion Chelsea Green and her opponent Michin. I get to lead off with this, and Chelsea Green, dressed up like Cactus Jack. I like to say she was Cactus Jill. As you know, Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25.
Joe come down with 250.
But once again, a minute and 35 seconds after the match started, they went to a commercial. The match itself was 10 minutes long. So when they came back, they're only 3.5 minutes into it. So we did get 6.5 minutes of the match, which was good. Michin used more weapons. There was the fire extinguisher spot that Chelsea Green sold wonderfully. Michin, had set up a table inside the ring, and then Chelsea Green thwarted that, and she set it up but didn't set up one of the table legs right. So when Michin put her on, one set of the legs fell down. Michin was like, who cares? And dove off of there on her anyways, putting Chelsea through. We then had BFAB come running out as, Piper Niven got involved, and they kind of fought off through the ring announcer's area and into the unknown abyss the black hole of the WWE audience there, and then all of a sudden, Meechin looks like she's getting ready for the 1-2-3 pin, and a mysterious black hooded figure pulls Chelsea Green, or pulls Meechin out, hits her out,
Hey, Josh.
removes the sweatshirt, and it's apparently a new member of the secret, I think she calls it Hervis. And it's Alba Fire. And she does an incredible move on Meechin, throws Chelsea Green in. I've said it to Mike, and I'll say it here. If they ever decide to let Alba Fire run wild as a singles competitor, she could go to the top of the roster. I really think she's that talented. They just need to figure out how to do it, and maybe this is a slow, long burn. Maybe we eventually get an Alba Fire Chelsea Green feud, which I think would be better than Chelsea Green Piper Niven. But yeah, I mean, this match is pretty good. I gave it a B.
Okay, Wayne Hayes, thank you for liking the live. We're up to 6.5K. Thank you, Wayne.
Mr. 24/7.
I didn't mind it too much. When I first seen the preview for it, I was like, come on, Meechin again? Like,
Thank you, Greg.
I feel like her entire title reign has been versus Meechin. I know she's had a match or two, but with someone else. But I mean, it feels like it's all Meechin, and I hate it for Meechin because I think she's pretty good, and I feel like she shouldn't just keep getting her butt kicked, losing up, So that part of it, I was already like, blah, whatever. Excuse me. But Meechin comes out with a garbage trash can full of weapons. Chelsea coming out, like you said, like Cactus Jack. I did like that. She played it off good. That was cool. But yeah, they just beat each other down, used a lot of weapons, and I think Meechin grabs a table and they start chanting EC Dub. So the fans were into it. I mean, I guess that's what they're going for. So you look at it that way, I guess they did a good job. But I don't know. I think the fact that it was Meechin, it was in my mind the whole time watching. So yeah, and then we get Alba Fire comes out, and the more I think about it, the more I'm getting behind it. Because at first I was like, oh boy, here we go. But I don't know. I think maybe they might have some. They could do it. There's definitely ways to make this work. But yeah, she did a crazy move at the end there. I think it was onto some chairs or something. It looked wild. And Chelsea was able to win. So I was okay with it. Put it this way, I enjoyed it a little bit more than I thought I would going into it. So, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. We get a new member of their little faction or whatever. So maybe they got something planned for them. Obviously, it looks like they do. So I'll go B-.
Okay. Sorry, DJ. After that, we then had another in-ring promo as Cody Rhodes came down to the ring to address the happening from Elimination Chamber. Mr. 24/7, what do you think?
DJ has got to be the promo king of Top Rope Report here.
Yeah, it just seems like every time it's my turn, it falls on one, though. All right.
Yep.
So Cody comes out, big old, and we got big Cena sucks chants from the crowd. So at least, even though we've always heard the Cena sucks chants, there was always let's go Cena with it, Right. So to only hear Cena sucks, I mean, I guess they did a good job at doing what they were doing, because it seems like everyone hates them. So, but I think the fans who loved Cena, like me, who just loved everything he did, they secretly still love him. You know what I mean? But I like what we're seeing. Anyway, so he basically he first started talking about his black eye and how he had to tell a lie, I think to his daughter, he said, about how he got the black eye. Then, ran into a wall. All right. He talked about The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott and basically what they did. And then he went on to say, years back, how he used to drive Cena around just so he can kind of learn from him and become what he is, basically. So he's like, he is my hero. And John Cena, my hero, gave up. All right. If that's the way they're going, he gave up. I like it because it was always never give up. So I'm cool with that part too. And he just goes like, John, we all want to know why. Why'd you do this? And he went on to talk about the arena he was at in Philly, I believe, and how basically this place was, I think he said, the only place my dad was afraid to perform in, something like that. So he brought Dusty in a little bit, and then he goes back to Cena and basically how he was such a good friend to him and how Cena was there at WrestleMania 40 when he won. He was in the family with his friends and he was in the ring with his family and friends celebrating. And he said, he told me the title gets heavier every day. That sounds like something Cena would say. I'm like, cool. And so Cody just finally, he holds it up and he's like, I'm here holding it and it's not heavy enough. And he goes on to do Cena's thing. You obviously want some, come get some. It was great. I loved it. I think that was a great time to do it. Have him do it like that. I'm definitely into this. And I can't wait for it. I went B+.
Oh, okay, Mr. Trivia.
Yeah, right. Wayne, Greg, you think Wayne Hayes likes to live?
I think so.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wayne. I appreciate that. Yeah, this promo had everything. I mean, it talked about Cena, talked about The Rock, talked about his dad, the black eye he's got and everything else, talked about, how he's going to explain it to his daughter, dad walked into a wall or whatever. But when I had saw something on TikTok, they said that they originally were going to have the John Cena heel turn at WrestleMania. I'm kind of glad they did it earlier because I think we're going to see John Cena turn back around after WrestleMania. I think he just wants to get that 17th title out of the way. And I'm going to go on record now saying I think John Cena is going to win the title at WrestleMania against Cody. Other than if he doesn't, then this heel turn was for nothing. But I just think that it had everything that I thought it was going to have in it. It was a great promo. I'm glad that they let Cody, kind of go with it. Nobody came out. It was good. And then the end where he quoted to Cena, "Come, you want some? Come get some." I thought that was great. I thought the whole thing was good. I gave it an A.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, it was Cody Rhodes in the ring, giving a promo, which is going to be good. I mean, I knew that he got clocked with his own Rolex right in his face, bruised his eardrum, but damn, when I saw that eye, it wasn't the same as when he took off his jacket in that Hell in a Cell when he tore his pectoral muscle, but it was almost that same reaction, like, holy shit. He looked, like he had a little, like Bell's palsy or something going on in that one side of his face. But once again, like you both said, really not much more to say. It was a passionate he showed the anger, pointed out all those things. I almost wish he had addressed the black eye more and kind of, I know Bully Ray went off about Travis Scott, and saying that somebody should, break his face. So I kind of only wish that maybe he had addressed that a little bit, kind of saying, you know what, don't worry, Travis, I won't forget, or, whatever. Pointed out the never give up, and it was everything. But the ending, when he said, come get some, almost said it in the same manner and tone that John Cena did, and then just, that's it, mic drop. This one didn't seem to be as long as Randy Orton's promo earlier in the evening. I definitely didn't think it was an A, but I am going to go straight up solid B for this.
All right, Greg and DJ, let me ask you one quick question before we go to the next match. Do you see Travis Scott getting involved in the WrestleMania match?
I freaking hope not, man, because I can't stand seeing him out there. I really can't.
Yeah,
I hope not.
I don't know. I think anything's possible. I have a little something about that main event in Nuggies News, so I don't want to go too much into it. Seeing one part of my Nuggies News was just blown up by trivia. But after that, we then went to a singles matchup between the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, and the biggest, oldest Uso brother, Jimmy. Trev, Big Jim. Trev, you are up first.
All right, Mike, thanks for joining. I thought this was a really good match. I believe this is like the third time that they've faced each other right now. They're going to have themselves a really good war. Shannon, thanks for joining in. Appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing, quite a few more matches between these two guys. Unfortunately, like I said to Greg, I had three guys in my fantasy, and this was the only loss I took. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. Drew got the win. Jimmy got the win the last time they faced. We'll get back to that in a minute, Mike. It was just, to me, I thought it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. I think Drew needed the win to keep his momentum going. I gave it a B. Undertaker coming back confirmed. Oh. I didn't hear nothing about that.
I didn't hear anything about that either. I'm up next, and I mean, I totally disagree with what Chip said. I just thought this match was of the matches that they've had, this was the one that was most mid. I know showed earlier in the evening that prior to the show, Drew McIntyre attacked Damian Priest. So the whole time he's wrestling Jimmy, I'm waiting for Damian Priest to come out. So, I guess this was the shortest match of the evening, and for good reason. It didn't need to be long. It was just, it was, to me, kind of blah. I guess the two questions after this is, what's next for Jimmy? And afterwards we had Damian Priest come out, and obviously they're building up towards something bigger between Priest and Drew McIntyre, and Jimmy Uso kind of played second fiddle to what's going on between Drew and Priest, which is unfortunate for him. But yeah, I just thought this was just a subpar, average match. I gave it a C.
All right. Wayne Hayes, you probably got nothing left to your fingers there, huh?
Mr. 24/7.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Nug. It was definitely the worst one out of all of them. And it's not like it was bad, because it wasn't bad. It just wasn't really much of anything. Like a lot of it. This was when I really got upset about where the commercials come into these matches. To this one, it got me. I'm like, what the hell? Because a lot of this match wasn't a commercial.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that just kind of did it for me. Plus, like, Jimmy started strong. He was doing a lot of good stuff, and basically Drew just hits a Claymore basically out of nowhere, and he didn't have a whole lot of offense to come back. Like, I feel like there was a lot of offense from Jimmy, and it just made him look bad almost, to where it didn't take Drew anything to fight back and win the match. So it was just kind of blah for me also. It sucks because I kind of like it. You know, I want him to do something with Jimmy. I just feel like they got something else in mind with Drew. So, like, I feel like instead of having Jimmy just be here to kind of like a filler for Drew, start something up with him with somebody, so we can see a nice story with Jimmy. But yeah, I can't really go too high. I'll go C+ here.
Excuse me. Alrighty. After that, we then went to the main event of the evening, and it was for the United States title, the men's version. As was the champion, Shinsuke Nakamura taking on LA Knight. First and foremost, I will say this match went the longest into the match of the evening before a commercial break, and it was 1 minute and 52 seconds. But this was one of 3 matches that they did the little side-by-side thing. Why they choose to do that for certain matches and not all matches, I don't understand. It happened. The side-by-side happened in the street fight, and then it also happened during the team match. It was like every other match they did the side-by-side. Okay, this match went over 11 minutes, so we got to see a lot of the match. LA Knight, Nakamura coming out with that, like the helmet and then that animal mask thing was great. They had another little vignette before the match where he's doing his, talking in Japanese, kind of with the warnings and this and that and this. And then you go through this whole match, and LA Knight wins. What?
Yeah.
This was Nakamura's, I think they even said, second title defense since he won it, and he lost the belt. Did Triple H, did somebody, what the fuck happened? Why did they even bother taking the title off of LA Knight just to have Nakamura hold it for 100? Yesterday, if he'd held it until yesterday, it would have been 100 days. So he had him out for 99 days. One title defense. So, I don't know. I feel bad for Nakamura. I think he's good, and I think this new character, persona, whatever you want to say, was good. They just didn't know what to do with it. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens. They come up with good ideas, but then they don't know how to develop it. But it was a good match, just with a weird, in my eyes, weird final outcome with LA Knight winning the title back. I think it's better for the fans because they like LA Knight more than they hate Nakamura. It's just hard to hate Nakamura. But yeah, it was okay. I gave it a B minus.
Okay.
Mr. 24/7.
Yeah, the first thing that popped in my mind when LA won was I think they got such a big, outcome from Io winning the title on a Monday Night Raw, where basically just a title change on something other than a big premium live event.
Thank you for the gift, Wayne.
I think that, and I could be dead wrong, but I just feel like this was something that they came up with, Tuesday morning or something like. Man, that was a huge response we got. We're doing it again. Something like that. Because you're right, it didn't make really much sense. And that's the only thing I could see, I don't know. It was weird to me. But we did get a good match. And the other thing I have written down, and you said it, I mean, they gave Shinsuke a new everything basically. The mask, everything looks so good. I just hope he doesn't get lost now, because I don't know. I think they had something with him, and hopefully they keep him kind of up there and not just like a few losses to LA Knight. Just go somewhere else and do something. So, but what we got was good. They both did their thing. I mean, LA did hit some really big moves. I think Shin went to spit the mist in LA's face, and he spit it in the ref's face, knocking the ref out, and then they both, I think, had a chance to win. Shinsuke pulled out a move that I'd never seen before. They called it Scorpion Rising or something. Man, that was a wild move.
Yep.
It was some wrestler, maybe in Japan or something, does it, and he did it. Anyway, it was wild. And then he grabs a chair, and LA stops him, and he hits his finish on the chair. So I kind of get the chair spot. I mean, they're going to take the title. That'd be the the way they have to do it, I guess. I don't know. But because the match was good, but I don't get where they're going.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I was happy that LA Knight won, but I was kind of out because I'm really liking Nakamura's gimmick now, and keeping the title on him for 99 days and then taking it off him. Like Greg said, if you were going to do that, you should have kept the title on Nakamura, on LA Knight. But now that they're obviously going to probably have another rematch or two here and there that we probably won't know about or won't see or might see, whatever. But then who's next in line for LA Knight? I mean, who are they gonna build up to challenge LA Knight for the U.S. title now? I mean, he won the match. He's the new U.S. champion, and it was just I liked the match because it was an exciting match. Both guys went back and forth. DJ said that new move that Nakamura had was amazing. Never saw that before. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. I gave it a B+.
Something off or something.
Oh,
maybe that could be the reason. Maybe.
Well, thank you for the info, Jess.
But yeah, overall for this show, B, C+, B+. I mean, for as many good as we got just as many flaws. I think B-.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it a B. I gave it a B+. I mean, I thought there was a lot of good stuff in the show. The Cody promo was good. The Randy promo was good. The Chelsea Green match I thought was really good. I gave it a B+.
Yeah. Not even close for me. I mean, once again, they had 6 matches.
Truth Seeker, thank you.
And of all the matches, they all went to commercial breaks in less than 2 minutes of the match starting. To me, this show really emphasized the World Wrestling Entertainment aspect of the show. I understand we're trying to build the WrestleMania, and I think the only things that we saw point to something at WrestleMania were Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And then maybe something with the tag team titles, but nothing else here other than the in-ring promos did anything for me to build towards WrestleMania. We had 3 hours of TV and 50 minutes of bell-to-bell action. I'll give it a high C+.
Okay. Guys, that's why Greg's the best in the business. He comes up and he searches. So that's the best thing for the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on TikTok, liking the live. Wayne Hayes, you're just amazing here, and we got 11,000 likes, and 95% of it was Wayne Hayes. But I definitely appreciate it, and hopefully he'll like this segment too. Wrestle Rant, thanks for joining, buddy. So right now we're going to go to the best part of the show. It's Nuggies News. So Greg, what do you got for us?
All right, guys. Well, thank you. As I was saying, should we kind of spoil a little something? It was stated, Wrestling Observer had stated that the heel change for John Cena was originally slated to happen at WrestleMania. They decided to pull it off with Elimination Chamber. I agree with Mike. I think now was definitely a better time to do it. But I've also seen that there is a possibility that, to ensure that Cody Rhodes loses his title at WrestleMania, that The Rock adds himself and possibly Travis Scott to the match to make it a 3-on-1, where the stipulation is it doesn't matter who ends Cody Rhodes, John Cena would be the champion. Guys, what do we think about this potential addition to the WrestleMania main event?
Well, that could possibly happen, but if that's the situation, then I think that'll tarnish John Cena's 17th title reign, where he really didn't win it on his own. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, because The Rock is the final boss, and getting the guys involved, him and Travis Scott, wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think. If it was a face John Cena, he wouldn't want to win the title that way. So that's just what I think.
No, I hope this doesn't. I hope that don't happen. One, I don't want to see Travis Scott in there. There's no reason for it. Leave him out. And two, I agree. I think the 17th win has to be at least a regular, a real finish and win for him. So yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, I just, the only thing that I worry about is them playing it off that, whether it's The Rock coming up with it or it's creative. The Rock wanting to make Cody Rhodes like living hell, and having him go through all these hoops, and knowing what they had Cody Rhodes go through last year to win the title, and how do you top that? By making it even tougher for him to keep the title. Makes me a little nervous about this whole situation.
Okay.
Couple of congratulations, first and foremost, to Neil Dashwood and Mike Rallis, formerly known as Emma and Riddick Moss, have welcomed their first child. I didn't see whether it was a boy or a girl. And, a lot of times newborns, you can't really tell. They're just these squishy little potatoes.
Absolutely.
congratulations also goes out to Lex Luger, as it was announced this week while he was working with Diamond Dallas Page, WWE Hall of Fame. He's in the class now that includes Triple H and Michelle McCool. Guys, what do we think?
DJ?
All right. I mean, I guess I could have went either way. I guess if they never did it, I would have probably been okay. But they're doing it, so congratulations to him, I guess.
Yep. In my opinion, I think it's long overdue. I think Lex Luger, he's messed up in his after he got done wrestling. Hey, Chris, thank you. The thing with Miss Elizabeth and everything. And it just seems that, Diamond Dallas Page has been working with all these wrestlers to better their health, and they're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Same thing with Scott Hall. Scott Hall deserved it. I think it's about time that, they put Lex Luger in the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. And congratulations to him.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. What accomplishments of Lex Luger's makes him a Hall of Famer? I'm not trying to knock a man when he's down. He never won a title. He won. Here it is. He won the Royal Rumble with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And he was a Slammy Award winner. And the Slammy he won was Most Patriotic in 1994. And that was the year that he hit Lex Luger on an aircraft carrier. Like, what did this man do? Tell me, what did this man do that makes him deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, there's quite a few people that were non-champions that are in the
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about him.
Well, I just think.
What did Lex Luger do?
I think that Lex Luger is was just a raw talent, and yeah, okay, maybe he doesn't deserve it in certain people's eyes. In my opinion, I think that Lex Luger deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. He was a multiple-time champion in WCW.
No, that's not WWE.
I know that. There's a lot of ones in WWE that weren't even in WWE that are in the Hall of Fame that were champions in other organizations.
I'm talking about Lex Luger.
I just think he deserves it. That's just my opinion.
And I just think you're wrong.
Okay. No problem.
Also, congratulations goes out to Indy Hartwell. Her no-compete clause is over, and an over 700-day title reign.
Wow.
I mean, this week on the Pat McAfee show, Pat McAfee had stated some kind of disturbing news.
Harry.
It was a bunch of, not a bunch, but there was, I don't know, I think they still call them tweets, even though it's on X, and X isn't Twitter anymore. But there was tweets after Pat McAfee showed his patriotism by kind of killing the Canadian crowd for booing the national anthem at Elimination Chamber, and somebody actually issued death threats to not only him but his daughter as well. I think this is where people need to really sit back and understand that this is entertainment. It's not real life.
Right.
Yes, Pat McAfee is a little different. He goes off. I don't even think there is a script for Pat McAfee. Everything he says is generic and whatnot, but there still is entertainment. And not saying you don't take it seriously when commentators say things, but I mean, issuing death threats against a man and their child because you think their country, as he said, is a piece of crap for booing the national anthem. A couple of things here before I get to articles where I ask your opinions. Rikishi is worried that Jay is possibly being overworked and really just getting run down on the road to WrestleMania. Guys, do we think that he should be worried, or is this just the business the way it is today?
I think it's just the business the way it is today. I mean, obviously, Jey Uso's, I think he's had a pretty good singles career right now. And would I just, if he beats Gunther for the title? Yeah. Would I expect it? Would I be surprised if he beat Gunther for the title? No, not really. Would I expect it? Yeah. But that, Rikishi knows better than anybody that this is part of the business. You're on the road 300 some odd days of the year. You're going to get worn down. And
not anymore. They're not on the road that long anymore at all.
DJ?
I think if you're going to be in that top spot, then you're going to have to work a little harder. Right? I mean, I don't think, like you said, they don't do the schedule's not like it used to. I think probably he's just he's doing a little more than he has.
I was talking to Mike on Wednesday's show. They haven't done, so they don't do the weekend events anymore. So literally, you're flying in. Most of them fly in. For Monday Night Raw, they fly in on a Sunday, so they're not traveling day of. And
hey, Casey.
And then they fly home Tuesday. So they're home, basically full day, by Tuesday evening. And they've got Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that their lives are definitely less strenuous. It is also being reported and expected that Rey Fenix will be making his WWE debut after the WWE's UK tour that ends March 31st. It is believed that is when his contract is up with AEW. There's already been merchandise with a 1 to 10 if you think that would be a tag team that is formed officially, and then how well do you think they'll do on the roster? Obviously, the first one that we're going to say is the Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix, and Penta. Guys, what do we think?
Well, I've just seen Penta this year. I've never seen Rey Fenix, but I've heard so much about these guys that, they're an awesome tag team. They're quicker than a hiccup. So I think that this will work on the roster. I'll go. We're doing excitement level, right?
Well, you think this will be a tag team that will form?
Oh, yeah.
And then excitement level.
Oh, yeah, definitely will form. And excitement level for me, I'm going to say 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt when he comes, they're probably going to be together. And I did see some of them together, and I like it. They're a great team. I'm going to go 8-8.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a given that when Rey Fenix joins WWE, he will. Everything that I've seen and heard and read, they're the Motor City Machine Guns on steroids, and if they're better than Motor City Machine Guns, I think the tag division can use this as a shot in the arm. I would immediately put them on Monday Night Raw because I think their tag division is lacking as opposed to SmackDown's. So I'll go 8.5, 8.5. Next one, officially formed. Mellow Don't Miz, Carmelo Hayes, and The Miz.
DJ, what do you think?
Well, I mean, being that I guess it's how long do they have to be together to call it an official tag team? I guess because what I see with them is maybe a few weeks of this, and then fighting each other. So. I mean, we're already seeing it, so I can't go real low. I'll go 7. Like, they'll be funny. I'll go 7.5.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to go 5 and 5. I really don't think that they'll make a good tag team. They'll probably put them together, but I'm not excited to see them together.
Right, and that's where I disagree with your 5, because if they're probably going to put them together, you'd have to go higher. And unfortunately, with the success, the brief success they got from the Awesome Truth with Truth and The Miz, I think, that they're unfortunate that you're going to put them together. So I'll go 7 and excitement level just because I think it's a horrible pairing. I'm going to go 3.5. Next one, Sheamus and a newly signed WWE superstar, former TNA World Champion Joe Hendry.
No, boy.
No, I just plugged in my my phone there. Putting and probably my excitement level for that will be about a 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like anything could happen. I can't stand Joe Hendry, and I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but...
You don't believe me?
I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer. Yes, he's TNA champ. He's pretty good, but nah. I'll go 2-2.
Greg, we said it. Greg, we said his name, and he didn't appear.
Yeah. Next one, a newly formed luchador tag team, Andrade and Santos Escobar.
DJ, what do you think?
Andrade and Santos. As a heel team, I wonder.
I don't know.
Because I think
Santos.
Yeah, because I think my excitement. Well, being that I haven't never even thought of that, I won't go too high, but I could see it happening. I'll go 5. I'll go 5-7.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I would. I mean, I would like to see this together as a team, whether it's heel or face. I think they'd make a good team. I'm going to go 6. No, I'll go 7 and probably 8.
I will agree with the excitement level being at 8. So I think both these guys are underrated in the ring. But likelihood, I'll go right there, right in the middle, about a 5.
Okay.
Next one, they mend their evil ways. Bailey and Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to put them together as a team. But if they do, I would probably go 7 and